Today's episode of the Life in Attleboro podcast is proudly presented by Confidence Fitness. If there's one thing in life that we have at least a little control over, it's our health, what we decide to eat, and how much we decide to move our bodies. That's why I'm excited about this exclusive offer just for listening to the Life in Attleboro podcast. Confidence Fitness is offering a 2-week jumpstart program for just $99. It includes 6 small group personal training sessions so you can start building strength and muscle. You'll also receive their food and mood journal to get you thinking about what foods to eat and how they impact your body and mind. And you'll also get an in-body scan to measure your current body composition. All you have to do is go to lifeinattleboro.com and you'll see the link right there on our homepage. I'll also include the link in the show notes of this episode. Confidence Fitness is located at 453 South Main Street. Confidence Fitness. Strength for life, strength for sports. And now, on to the show. You are listening to the Life in Attleboro podcast, where we interview the city's most interesting people who are making a positive difference in our community. Hey everyone, I'm the host of the Life in Attleboro podcast, Mike Sullivan. Get ready to be impressed and inspired by an Attleboro High School student. His name is Elmer Vidal. He caught my attention over the summer when he knocked on my door and told me about his new business. And as you're about to find out, this young man is well ahead of his years, and his future is very bright. Enjoy episode 21 of the Life in Attleboro podcast. All right, joining me now is an Attleboro High School student who started his very own business. His name is Elmer Vidal. He is the founder and manager of Bright Sight Cleaning Services, and I am one of his customers. So, quick story. It was the spring of this year, 2024, and I was playing with my children in the house, and I heard a knock at the door. I opened the door, and I saw this young man who was dressed very professionally, standing very confidently, and ready to pitch me something. And I thought it was a sports fundraiser because I usually support the kids in our neighborhood for things like that. But then Elmer started telling me about his business, and he was so well-spoken, so passionate. And what I liked most is that he was so transparent with me. He told me that he was just starting out, and he would love for me to be one of his very first customers. And I was a yes at that very moment, because I love supporting entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs. I love when young people take an idea and turn it into reality. So I was in pretty early on in this conversation, and Elmer got me at the right time because my wife and I had actually been talking about trying to hire someone soon to clean our windows. So Elmer, you got me at the right time. Timing could not have been better. So I gave you my contact information, and a couple hours later, I left to go bring my son to practice. And I actually saw you walking down Locust Street, and I told my wife, I said, hey, that's Elmer. That's the kid that's going to crush it with this business. You're just out there pounding the pavement and putting in the work, and I respect that so much. So I invited Elmer onto the podcast. Elmer, I can tell you are a special young man, and I hope our listeners support you when they need their windows cleaned. So let's get to it, sir. First of all, Elmer, thank you so much for being a guest on the Life in Attleboro podcast.
Thank you, Mike. I'm super honored to be here.
I appreciate it. So first question, you are currently a student at Attleboro High School. What year are you in right now?
Yeah, so I'm currently a junior right now at Attleboro High School.
All right, cool. And did you grow up here in Attleboro?
I was actually born in Pawtucket, and then I was actually raised here my entire life.
Very good. Very good. So tell us the name of your company and how that idea came to life.
Yeah, so my company is called Bright Sight Cleaning Services. We specialize in window cleaning, and really the idea came to life when me and my dad, we were actually talking about when I was going to start my own business and kind of thing. Between my family, I've always had this passion for entrepreneurship, and I've always just wanted to be self-employed. So I took thought of that, and over time, I started to develop just this kind of urgency that I really just wanted to start doing something, and not only just to make that kind of income, but more importantly, to help my community, to help everybody around me. And that's something that I was really wanted to do. So I did a lot of researching. I did a lot of planning and everything. And eventually I came up with the solution of offering window cleaning. And then hopefully I can expand that to be with pressure washing and just more home improvement services.
Very good, Elmer. Just so darn genuine, man. I can sense it already. So how long have you been in business?
Yes, Bright Sight Cleaning Services, it actually began of June of this year. It's this thing that I wanted to do over the summer. The LLC was actually formed prior in May. And really, we started to take a lot of research and everything. And we bought the equipment as well in May and just started practicing. So it really took around, I want to say, a month of development of really making a plan of research, a whole business plan. and as well as practicing with the actual equipment, mastering our craft before we start offering that to other people. So
Totally.
I think, yeah, so that's pretty much how I began.
It's a professional operation for sure. We'll get to that shortly. But I noticed too, I was searching around your website and LinkedIn actually too. So I noticed you were part of the student painters internship through Attleboro High School. What was that experience like? And did that play any kind of role in creating Brightsight?
Yeah, so I think that would be one of the most significant roles. Basically, the entire backstory of how I got into this, my own business, was through this internship with student painters. Specifically, my branch manager at the time, his name is Steven Durkel. Basically, he was looking for some people to be door knockers in the area. And basically, you would just knock on doors and you would just ask the homeowner if they would be interested in a free quote for exterior painting. So basically, I was like, at the time, I wanted to make a little bit of money. School was about to end, summer was about to begin. And I just took the opportunity, and actually I took the opportunity with one of my close friends. And we decided to do this entire process together, trying to learn everything. And my branch manager, Steven, he taught me pretty much everything that I know. He taught me everything about sales. So it really was truly like an eye-opening moment, and enabled me to really see the capabilities that I had, as well as the capabilities that having a business, going out door knocking, and simply just talking to people and helping the community.
He did a fine job teaching you, young man, and bring that to life. So one
You.
of the things I love to see, you and your father did a fantastic job with our windows. You guys were out there for hours, and I came home from work late at night. I woke up the next morning to check them out, and they were spotless and with no streaks at all. We'll get to that. But one thing I loved is that after you were done with our home, we saw you at several of my awesome neighbors' homes who had hired you as well over the next few days. So I was really happy to see them supporting a young man as well. Like I said, I was poking around your website to prepare for the interview, and I noticed how well done it is. So I'm wondering, did you do that yourself, or did you actually hire a web designer to make it look like that?
Yeah, so I actually designed everything myself. Specifically, I designed the name of the actual business. Then I went to the logo, and then I went directly to all the social medias, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, the YouTube, pretty much every social media that I could possibly get. I had to get that handle. And then after that, then I'm like, all right, I'm going to need a website if I want to be professional. I decided to just do a little bit of research, and pretty much all the information is there. I think you just really have to go and just find it and take action. I think that's one of the most important things, is taking action on an opportunity like that. But yeah.
Amen. So you have a very professional setup right now as we record this interview. So let's talk about those social media channels. You mentioned them. You said Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So how do you manage all those platforms? Do you get any kind of leads or traction from them? And what kind of content are you posting on them?
Yeah, so primarily on the Brightsight social media accounts, I like to post a lot of on-site job videos and whatnot. A lot of it is satisfying. A lot of it is just entertainment purposes. But at the same time, I'm also plugging in my own type of business as well to the community, specifically leads and everything. I wouldn't say in my area, it's been definitely, there's been a lot of word of mouth, but it's nothing been like direct that we've been getting like sales and everything through social media. But it's definitely helped develop our brand and develop our image. That's something that I'm really big and passionate about, is having that type of brand that people can rely on, be trustworthy with. And I've been in the space with social media for a very long time as a consumer, but also as a producer as well. Specifically at my high school, I take the career technical education program marketing. So basically, I'm in charge of being the social media manager for the school store called the Blue Hanger, and it's on all social medias. And basically, weekly, we always try to develop a plan. We develop our posts. Recently, a couple weeks ago, we actually did the Pink Bombardiers pink hoodies for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And that was a fantastic experience. I've learned a lot from it. And I was in charge of taking the leading role of making all these social media posts and establishing also the brand of the Blue Hanger and the whole Attleboro engage, challenge, inspire core values. It's something that I've already been good at. So to apply that to my business and vice versa from my business to the Blue Hanger, it's truly been a huge learning curve, and I'm super thankful for that.
That's awesome. A very natural progression there from school to real life business. Good for you. And like you said, word of mouth, that's probably the best way to get a lead, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's exactly how it played out on our street. Is after I had some neighbors, hey, who was that kid out there? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you got to, that's exactly what you want. So I want to talk about this now. The equipment and the products that you use, it looks high tech. It looks state of the art. Like I said before, this is a professional operation that you and your father are running. So tell us about the products and the equipment at Brightsight.
So we're changing the game, right, Mike? We've invested a lot of our income and a lot of our revenue that we've made directly back into the business. and specifically the margin's been pretty high. So we've been able to really expand all of our equipment. Specifically with window cleaners, the ordinary window cleaner might have maybe a squeegee, a microfiber cloth, some Dawn dish soap, and like an applicator, like a little sponge.
Sure.
We've been able to invest all of that money to be able to buy a pure waterified water system. It's a DI tank system. Practically, it's purified water. So we connected to a 30-foot pole. The products are from zero. And basically, we're able to be on the first floor, and we're able to use that 30-foot pole. It has like a brush on the top. It's a soft bristle brush. It doesn't scratch the glass or anything like that. But it's a water-fed pole, so it shoots a little bit of water out. And because it's purified water, it doesn't leave any streaks or anything like that. We don't use any chemicals, and it allows us to not use any ladders. It allows us to be safer, and also it ensures the homeowner to be like, all right, these guys know what they're talking about. These guys have the right equipment. And obviously, as a homeowner, you probably wouldn't want like ladders to be everywhere around your house and damaging anything. So that's something we prioritize, is the customer service a part of it as well. And yeah, so we're changing the game, especially in our area, with what we're using. And I think there's a lot of social media people that are like, wow, these guys are actually doing pretty well. And funny story actually is that when I came back to school over the summer, I had one of my friends who, when I first started my business, I posted this TikTok video, and it was literally just me with my belt on. I had a squeegee in my hand, a microfiber cloth, and I was just doing like the motions of everything. And basically, he saw that video a while ago, and he's, wow, Elmer, man, how's the business going? I'm like, yeah, man, it's been going really well. We're getting a lot of people, and we're just helping the community out. And he's like, yeah, the day that I first saw that video of you, you were now using an entire system. You had an entire equipment thing. You had your people working with you. And it looked like an actual business. And I'm like, wow. And it took a second for me to like really understand what he was saying. And it really was like a full circle moment. I was like, wow, I started off with just like a squeegee in one hand, and now I have a 30-foot pole, and I've reinvested all that money, and I have my own like workers with me. So I think it's super amazing to see that. And that was really eye-opening for me.
That's awesome. That's a cool story, Elmer. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Of course.
So like I said, you and your father, you were at our place for several hours, and it shows because, again, windows were spotless, no streaks. They looked brand new again. So Elmer, not many teenagers are passionate about cleaning windows. So I got to ask you, why is it so important to you?
I think it's really important to me because it's a message. I think that if we are living our lives and we have certain problems. Everybody has problems in their lives. Everybody has, whether that's financial, physical, whatever it may be. And my personal part of this is that I had this conversation with my parents inside of my family, and everybody has like their own arguments. Everybody has like their own things that they're trying to fix and whatnot. And I really took accountability, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to change my position where I'm at right now. I want to be able to support my family financially. I want to be able to support my family just in any possible way that I can. So I really took that accountability of that. And I just wanted to make a message that if anyone has a dream or anything, I feel like a lot of people have dreams, but not a lot of people take the actions in order to make those dreams into a reality, right? So I think it's super important that if you can start something and stick to it and stay consistent to it, you definitely can grow and you can definitely change your life. And I guess I can just try to be an example of that. And I just want to encourage anyone who has a dream to take accountability, to take actions, and to get those dreams. And there's a lot of people who are going to, if they doubt you or anything like that, you got to use that as motivation. I use that as fuel. And I'm just super grateful that I'm able to be in the position that I am today. But yeah, if anyone has a dream, if anyone wants to do anything, all it takes is just actions in order to succeed. But yeah.
Amen. Good message. You are well ahead of your years, sir. So I already know the answer to this question, but are you all in on your business? Most high school students take part in activities after school, either school programs or programs outside of school. Do you go home and just continue working on growing your business after your homework is all done for the day? What does that look like?
Oh, man. I'm actually happy that you asked this question, because this is actually something that I wanted to talk about a little bit too, is because because a lot of people, one of my friends know everything, but I'm actually a cheerleader at Attleboro High.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm the only male cheerleader there, and it's a great experience. I love everything. I love my coaches, my teammates, and it's a super really well developed program. And so I have to actually balance a lot. I have to balance my academics. I take high honors, I take AP classes, and then I have cheerleading, and then I have my business, right? So that's three things that I'm trying to manage at once, as well as relationships with my family, my friends, all that. So basically, I prioritize over the summer. I didn't have school. I did have practices every once in a while, but it wasn't as intense as now. But right now, and over the summer, actually, I was specializing. My full priority was just my business. I wanted to grow my business. I wanted to learn everything. So that first summer of this year in 2024, I just really wanted to just learn what I want, learn my business, understand my business, and just maximum out like basically everything that I can put into it. So I really took that into my vision, and I just wanted to develop my business, grow it. And then now that I have school, now I have like my sports and everything. Now it's a little bit tricky to balance everything. Being self-employed, a lot of people say, oh, I want to stop working my 9 to 5. I want to do this and this. But once you become self-employed, it's not just you have all the time in the world to whatever. You're literally working 24/7. There's a lot of nights where I was like, just thinking to myself when I was like, even though I was sleeping, I had a dream of like my business. And I was like, what if something went wrong at a homeowner's house or something like that, or just a lot of things. So it's a lot of 24/7, but really when I have the free time and able to put work into my business, that's exactly when I'm going to go and take action. But I like to prioritize my present. I like to prioritize my academics, my sports and everything first, just because I only have around maybe 1.5 years left of high school, and then I have my entire future ahead of me. So I want to focus on what's now and what's present, so that way I can enjoy what's later to come.
Good for you. Great answer. What kind of role does your father play in your life and your business?
Yeah, so my father he's super special to me. Actually, before Brightsight even began, and I wish I mentioned this a bit earlier, my father actually got into an accident. He was just walking the dogs and whatnot. And then eventually he was walking 2 dogs in both hands. He had their leashes out, and they were just walking, just going around the block. Mm-hmm. And basically there was another dog. It was a stray dog. And he actually came in between his legs, and then my father fell, and he got into a little bit of an accident. His face was a little bit messed up. And that was a really eye-opening moment, because I thought I've never seen my father in that way, specifically with the injury. And the reason why I wanted to mention that and bring that up was that was really like the spark to the fire of I have to appreciate my parents, not just my dad, but also my mom as well. And yeah, I'm so grateful that I have them in my life. And I know a lot of people may not have their parents with them. So in order to have something with my parents, I just have to really take accountability. And like I said, always, I'm a big on to take action, because not everything is going to be here forever. So to see my father like that in that kind of condition, I was like, all right, I need to do something with him. And he's always supported me my entire life. We've always chatted, and we always laughed about having my own business. And if I see a cool car down in the street, I'm like, I want to have one of these one day. It's going to be in a black color. It's going to be white. It's going to be whatever. And he's always just laughed, and he's always supported that. And he's always been super genuine. Yeah. So after that accident, I really wanted to start something. So I'm really happy that I have this business, because if God forbid my father, something happens to him in the future, at least I have something to remember. And that's exactly why I have this window cleaning business.
A very special bond, man. You're right on track. Family, health, perspective. You've got all that already. Congrats to you and your parents for instilling that and those values. So Elmer, besides window cleaning at homes and businesses, does your company offer any other services throughout the year?
Currently in the moment, we do not.
Okay.
But I do have a vision. I definitely want to be able to expand, and I definitely would want to get into, like I said earlier, pressure washing, soft washing, everything like that. But currently in the moment, I want to perfect my craft. I want to just master the window cleaning side of it. And then once I have that going, then I'll be able to invest that money again to go into other services as well. And hopefully maybe in the future, I love coaching. I love being able to help people. And if people ask me for advice, I love to just help them and give them the answers that they would want. And everybody has dreams in their life. Everybody has goals that they want, but not a lot of people have the people that they need in order to get that way. So if I can be that person for somebody, I think that's going to truly be special. But at the moment, we just have window cleaning. But I think maybe this summer we can expand into pressure washing, soft washing, and really just anything to do with just water.
Yeah. And also I can totally see you being a coach, because you've already proved that during this conversation alone. Elmer, what else would you like the people of Attleboro to know?
I just want the people of Attleboro to know that we're all in this together. The city has been super, super amazing to me, to my family, to my friends. And really just growing up here, it's every single time I drive in the city, I'm like, wow, like the city is growing. There's a lot of new businesses being made. The school programs are amazing. Just everything, the people, the community is just super special. So I really just want Attleboro to know that, like, we're the best. North Attleboro, who's North Attleboro? We're the best in the rivalry. So yeah, go blue. And I'm just super grateful to be in the city.
That's awesome. It's people like you, Elmer. It's why I started this podcast, to share stories just like yourself. So I appreciate you being on the podcast with me. Elmer Vidal, founder and manager of Brightsight Cleaning Services. Bright things, certainly in your future. I wish you nothing but the best. You are headed places, so congrats. And to our listeners of the Life in Attleboro podcast, if you hire Elmer and support this young entrepreneur, this young man, you will not be disappointed. I promise that. He is a professional, and the results speak for themselves. So, Elmer, thanks again for being a guest on the Life in Attleboro podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I really hope you enjoyed our conversation with Elmer Vidal. What an impressive young man. If you're interested in becoming Elmer's next customer, I've included the link to Brightside Cleaning Services in the show notes of this episode. Hey, I want to tell you about our new sponsor, Hoban Accounting Services. If you're a small business owner, you know how much of a hassle it can be to keep track of every penny earned and every penny spent. But thankfully, Hoban Accounting Services is on a mission to heal your headaches and fizzle your frustration when it comes to crunching those pesky numbers. Hoban Accounting Services has helped local businesses for more than 7 years. That's when Nicole Hoban, a proud mother of twin girls, launched her business. She's a QuickBooks Pro Advisor with tons of awards to her name. If you mention the Life in Attleboro podcast, you'll get 10% off for your first 6 months. If you'd like to support a small business owner in our city, just tap the link in the show notes of this episode and Nicole will be in touch. Hoban Accounting Services. A great bookkeeper should be an asset, not an expense. Hey, can you please do me a favor? If you haven't already, can you please subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star review, and most importantly, sign up for our email list. You'll enjoy exclusive benefits, including early access to every new podcast episode, special savings at Attleboro restaurants and businesses, behind-the-scenes videos and insights, and you'll stay in the know about cool events in our great city. Just go to lifeinattleboro.com, and you'll see the sign-up display right there on the homepage. And if you know someone who would make a great guest on our podcast, please shoot us an email at lifeinattleboro@gmail.com. That's it for today. Life in Attleboro is a great thing. Support our community, promote positivity, and make a stranger smile. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Life in Attleboro podcast.